There's a reason why for the last 13 years, startups overwhelmingly prefer to build on top of AWS. We have the largest number of services, making it easy for you to take on some of the biggest challenges with the smallest teams. We also have partnerships with the top VCs, accelerators, and incubators around the world, making it easier to secure your next round of funding.
I'm a solution architect with the AWS Head Start program. What we do is we work with startups in the education sector, and we help them build their services on AWS.
So We Power Tech is AWS's Diversity and Inclusion Outreach program. The program is really twofold. One is to increase the number of underrepresented technologists within the industry, and the second is to provide a platform for them to be seen and heard.
If you're wondering how the AWS evangelism team might be able to help your startup, there are many ways. We're technically credible across our entire catalog of products, so we can help you figure out which services might be able to meaningfully impact your business. We also want to help tell your story. So if you're building something cool, we want to know about it and help spread that message to the world. So you might end up on stage at an event like AWS Summit. If you're a startup, you should also definitely check out the AWS Lofts. These are event spaces that are free to anyone with an AWS account. And you can treat them like co-working spaces, but the awesome thing about them is that we also have people like technical evangelists like myself, solutions architects that come and give hands-on technical workshops and sessions to help you learn how to more effectively utilize the AWS products and platforms that you're already building on top of.
We are a dedicated team of people that love startups, that we just want to come and help you with whatever we can, whether it be technical or business focused. We are here to help guide you and make sure that you do have a say in what's going on. We do get your feedback. We do bring that feedback to the service teams. That is what we're here for.
And thank you, AWS, for this opportunity to deliver on this timely topic. Saving billions from the billion. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
All right. Saving billions around the world, saving people around the world from these big corporations that operate in dollars, that try to carry out food activities in dollars, doing business big time without minding the health implications. So how do we save people from these unwholesome practices? I call it unwholesome because it is out of greed and wickedness. Big corporations perpetrate and market harmful products and foods that are not good for human consumption. I believe most of our participants here are contestants for the HULT Prize competition. I want to urge you all to listen carefully, and I hope that as I share my thoughts and opinion on how to create a niche, how to get food for good for our populace, I hope that this will give you an insight, and it will also create for you, it will also guide your development, the development of your ideas. Right away, about 1/3 of the world's output, it's actually based on agriculture. People all over the world, about 1/3 of the productions all over the world are agri-based. But it's unfortunate that most of the productions are not healthy for consumption. And the reason why they're not healthy for consumption is because big corporations have taken over the production, distribution of unhealthy products. If you check our shelves today, the stores, the malls, the products you find are products that are unhealthy for consumption. Our schools is nothing to write home about. Our restaurant, our malls, it's so sad the things you see on the shelf for people to consume. So for us to maneuver through this difficult situation this big corporation posed to us, I'll call on the contestant to think through developing a concept around local markets. Entrepreneurs can build markets. Market is not only for the government. Individuals can build up market, a localized market, where they can own and control produce into that market. In conjunction to opening up a market, entrepreneurs can develop ideas around the media. If you can control the media, I believe we can challenge these big corporations. And one of the ways to challenge them is to educate the people. Once the people are educated on what to eat and the right thing to eat, I believe their urge for those junks will reduce. So I call on young entrepreneurs who are developing ideas and businesses to pitch for this competition, to develop ideas around building up local markets. That market can be sold as franchise. You need not build the market here, go to another place and build the market. You can develop the model, the market model, so you can control sales of items in that market. Right now, the situation in the country is messed up. Not only in the country, around the world. People lobby to put junk on the shelves of our malls and stores. People lobby, even legislators, just to make sure that they make profit. But it's so sad that we don't even have the right orientation. We don't our food and about business completely. People, it's so sad that people venture into business for profit making alone, which is not the essence of business, which is not the essence for starting up a business or a corporation. The essence is to solve problems. The essence is to make this world and humanity better than you met them. So our drive and urge and what we are calling on you guys building up ideas to compete is, one, you can build a local market that can be packaged in a way that can be franchised. The same regulation that is operating in your locality can also be duplicated in many areas around the world. That is one. Two, you can build on ideas around the media, how to reorient the people on what to eat, how to reorient the people on the need for healthy food and where to get them, and exposing government complacency. Government has been so complacent and rubbing shoulders with the dubious big companies. So with this media house, you can call it farm radio, farm TV, whatever you want to call it. Market, your localized farmers market you can develop. You can create a niche where you control produce. And market your product so that people can come to your local market. And that your local market, that model can be duplicated elsewhere. You don't need to go around. That model can be duplicated all around the world. Then, the third, we can start remodeling our curriculum. But how do we model our system that is twisted? In a system where they train you to do business for profit, People don't mind what they sell. They don't mind what people consume. All they are is just for profit making. But if we can venture into education also, education can be path, will be a long-term goal anyway. This education path can help reorient our young ones, teach our young ones the core, the primary values that we need to go into business. And one of the primary ethics we need to have is not just for profit making. Profit will come. If it's for profit, don't bother yourself. Profit will follow you. Seek to solve that problem. Seek to go for excellence. Seek to make sure that you satisfy the human need and prolong life and preserve humanity. So in summary, what I want to urge our contestants and the HULT Prize participants for the 2020 contest, Food for Good. One of the ways to make sure that food is made available, healthy, good food is made available in such a way that it will reduce hunger, it will reduce poverty, it will create employment, create job, and improve economies in the most economies in the world, is when you create your own niche by not participating in the already existing market space that we have now. This market space I'm talking about, it can be virtual or physical. You can go virtual or you can go physical. For the virtual, you can create an online market and promote it with your media outfit that you attach to your business, to your market space business that you've created. So that's a media outfit, either maybe a farm radio or a farm TV, can be used to promote that market that you've created, where people can come and get healthy food, where farmers can come and create a tent to sell healthy products and services. So I'll urge you with these 3 points. One, localized markets, where you can source localized products, empower people, farmers right within your community. It will help a great deal in pushing these big companies out of the market. Your radio, your farm radio and your farm TV will help greatly in educating the people, to give them a mindset, to give them a firm orientation of the need to go for good products and not the junk that they sell around. It's so sad that just take a look at our schools, for example, our primary schools, our secondary schools. All these big companies, for example, they'll come around asking schools to give them opportunity to advertise to give free signboards, for example. When they construct the free signboard for the school, they'll add their product, and most of their product is unhealthy for the children. It's so sad. It's so sad. But I believe with this new generation, this new crop of entrepreneurs we are breeding, I believe food that will be found on our school stands, on our local markets, will be healthy food. If only we can create that market, we need to create that market. We don't need to allow people. We don't need to allow people go to the general market they know, where they will be deceived by false advertisement and false padding of their product and false packaging. In fact, in the course of my preparation for this presentation, I saw a research that says that 50% of the products of these big companies, 50% of their budget is spent on packaging of their product. Then 40% is actually spent on marketing the product. Then 10% is what you get true value of the product. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. We need to give a new orientation. We need to create a localized market. A market where we get good food, vegetables, fruits, nice grains, well-prepared grains. So entrepreneurs should start thinking about creating a market. For the urban areas, some of the challenges you face creating a market in the urban areas is maybe space, high cost of space. But I believe you, once you draw up your plan very well, investors will want to put a seed, want to invest equity with you. Apart from that, for the rural areas and semi-urban areas, land and the space that you need is not too expensive. So for the local rural areas, you can get land, you can get space where people come regulate in a regulated manner. They will come and pitch their product, or where they come to sell their product, and your media outfit will be used to market that product. You let the people know where to get good food. You let the people know where to get good materials. You let the people know where to get good items for them to eat, to be healthy. So I believe that with these 3 points I've raised, the HULT PRIZE participant will be able to build around this and come up with something substantial that will create a niche, not just in the world, not just in the country, but also in the world. And I hope and I pray that one of them will come up at the top. So number one, like I said, you can create a localized market for farmers market. You can create a localized farmers market. Then you can have a media outfit to promote what you have in stock. That's a media outfit will be used to educate the people, reorient them about your product. It will be used also to expose government complacency and to support government to regulate the product being sold by these big companies. So I believe with these markets, with this media outfit, and with venturing into education, reorienting our people on the need for good food, on the need on good production, good storage and distribution, I believe consumption will be something we long for. So I call on the participants, the contestants, to think around this, localized markets, source for local produce and farmers from your local environment. Bring them to the market. Then you can help them with your media outfit, promote, reorient the people to come and get good products from the localized market shelves. Thank you very much.
All right, hello? Please. Yeah. So if hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
I can hear you.
All right, makes sense.
We can hear you.
All right, great. Okay. So I want to first say a very big thank you to Mr. Shaibu. This is like the first session. Yeah. This is like a session that is meant to begin it's going to be a discussion session. You guys are going to ask your questions so that you'll be able to get in line with what you are to do. This is just the session that is like introductory. That's going to make you to reorder your business plan if you've done any and see whether you actually fall in line with what you've been asked to do. Because the HULT PRIZE competition is all about food for good, about transformative food niche or a food startup in such a way that to begin to redirect the behavior of the global sharks in the food sector in such a way that would begin to remove again from the food shelf all the toxic food in quotes, and then we'll have more of healthy foods up to 100% on the food shelves. And then there also sifts out of the food sector other very wrong practices from production down to distribution, down to consumption, storage, and the rest. So if your startup is not in line, if the solution that you're preferring, now understand the point, if a solution you're preferring is not in line with solving a problem that tackles present challenge as regard food unhealthiness, taking out unhealthy food from the global food shelf, and as other unhealthy practices from production down to distribution, and finally, doesn't in any way tend to add so much value or to improve lives of those within your locality and beyond, specifically using your food startup as a vehicle, you being the entrepreneur, then you are absolutely out of line. It doesn't matter how beautiful your business idea is. It doesn't matter how wonderful you've carved it out. It doesn't matter how creative your team is. If your solution doesn't fall in line, just like our speaker has said, you need to begin to restructure whatever you're doing. You need to begin to look at solutions that will help you out, that will help us all out. That's what it is. In terms of removing unhealthy foods from the global food shelf. If your solution doesn't fall in line with doing this, then first of all, you're not getting the point, and most unlikely will win the prize. You really stand no chance. So, and then he made some suggestions. One, we have local farmers who produce good stuff, but those good stuff we have the case of tomato from the north. Well, most of us go for the tin tomato that is not really made totally healthy.
Unhealthy, exactly.
Right.
Very unhealthy.
So he's saying your idea could fall in line with creating a marketplace where we have tomato that can present the real tomato in a better way. Because while we easily go for this tomato, tin tomato, because it's handy, it's easy, it looks catchy, and it's easy to use per se.
Now that market may not only be for tomatoes alone. That market can also accommodate oranges. That market can also accommodate okra, vegetable okra. That market can accommodate so many fruits that our local farmers produce.
Okay.
It need not even be from the north. We have them here, right here in the east. In the north, in the north, they can have their own markets. That's your template. That's your model template you are creating here. Can also be replicated in the north. Yes, in the north. And where there is a deficit in terms of maybe supplies, it can be transferred through network. SSCs maybe from the north can be transferred down here in such a way that it will not damage the produce.
Okay. So I hope everyone is getting the point of our guest speaker today. So he's trying to say you could create a niche. This is a suggestion. You could create a niche. You could create a niche in this sense. How well can you create a marketplace that would best present raw foods, like the real food, instead of having tomato, tin tomato,
canned and packaged and processed?
How
food,
best?
yes.
So your ingenuity could be going towards a better marketplace. A better marketplace. That would,
yes.
then
and okay. that marketplace can be of two types. It can be virtual.
Okay.
It can be virtual, or it can be a physical market.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the other 2 points you mentioned.
Then in combination to that market, you need to have a control of the media. The media is central. and your media will be used to propagate good food. That's why I suggest maybe farm radio, farm TV. It will be used to educate the farmers on the best practices. So the media is key, and that media outfit will not be used by the big sharks that want to destroy us, that doesn't care whether we live or not. They're after their pockets and after their money, which is so sad.
Okay, thank you, sir. So what he said. So let me. I like to, because I want everyone to be carried on, and you'll be given your chance to ask questions. Right. So like rounding up here now. So what we're saying is, what he's saying again, from what I understood, is this: there is, apart from creating a marketplace that would better promote and present what the good farm produce we have in such a way that is catchy and make people to now prefer to buy from there. There is also the information aspect of creativity in terms of creating, like we have Indomies, where Indomies do go to schools and then have their signboard there to put a signboard for the school and then put the Indomie logo on the signboard. So the promotional aspect of the food sector, of the food business, is also something he mentioned. If you can create an idea that falls under the aspect of promotion, that falls under the aspect of information. For example, you can have a farm radio. So what that radio specifically always does is to give information to the public on food available in a particular way.
Educating the farmers, educating the populace on where to get good food, how to produce good food, how to store your food, how to distribute your food. Now, it is so important that for us to achieve some of those SDGs, we need to take personal responsibility. We need to take personal, and one of the things these entrepreneurs will help individuals take personal responsibility is these markets they create and the media outfit they control. They can use this duo to educate the populace, bring them to this market, get good food. From this market, you can take food to schools. Our children doesn't need to be eating these noodles, all this nonsense that they say around, which is so sad because the way they promote them, the way they market them, you think that is just the best. Sometimes they come up with renewed product, renewed, not necessarily renewed in terms of value. It's just a renewed packaging, because 50% of their budget is spent on packaging, 40% of their budget is spent on advertisement. These big sharks, then 10% is only value. But we can give our children 100, if not 90, if not 100% value for their food.
Okay. So I hope everybody got what he said. So now I would like to just give the audience the opportunity to ask their questions before we wrap it all up. This is supposed to be a very brief session. I want to make it as brief as possible. If you have questions, you can raise your hand. If you go to the menu, you can see where you can raise up your hand. You raise your hand, then we'll unmute you, then you ask your question. So it's not be too rowdy. Let's do this within 10 minutes, so we'll be able to wrap it all up. Any questions?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to raise my hand, but I can't raise my hand.
Okay, so let me show you. Let me show you how to raise your hand first of all before you ask your question. So like Mecca would has raised his hand now, for example. So if you click on more, once you click on more, you have sorry, excuse me.
I can't find more here.
There's a raised hand there.
There's a raised hand. Yeah, there's a raised hand on the
menu.
On the menu down there. It's so you can go ahead and speak. I think that's the code I was speaking, after which you will listen to Nemeka Nwode. Ziko, go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My question is practically simple. What if the government decided that idea with and they fight to work with?
What? Sorry, we didn't get your question. Repeat again, please. The network was bad.
Yes,
Then,
it's not very clear. Go ahead, please. Ask the question again.
okay, I said, okay, okay, I said, what if the government, for instance, decides to fight you, the entrepreneur, maybe because of your idea is going to compromise their gain, their selfish gain? What would you do as an entrepreneur?
Thank you very much. I discussed with a lawyer friend just about 2 hours ago, and he told me the legal implication of starting up a market. Now, every individual has a right to start up a market. You need not relax and say it's only the government market. It's just like, for example, a mall. You can build your mall. You can build your mall and ask people to come and pitch, and they come to sell their product and services. So in this case, for a market, for a farm market, what you have to do is just a space. You clear a space, get the land, make sure the land is your own, get your CFO. Then you can allot spaces and make it look healthy, make the environment look neat for food produce. Then you can sell your product. So there will be no restriction. Remember, in everything that you do, there's usually there's politics, and there is confrontation. People who want to fight you, maybe one area or the other, they want to confront you. But believe you me, you have to be up your game. You have to. People will also want to support you if you're on the right course.
Is it me that is out?
Secondly, you can go virtual, e-commerce. Already, I understand that there are some of our local ladies, particularly, they started online markets, open markets for people. Just they'll call their friends, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll go for maybe one basket of tomato. They'll buy and share it. You see? So, but these things are done in a traditional way. It's not well organized. As an entrepreneur, you can organize it into a multinational company where people can get your franchise and operate anywhere in the world. And your template, maybe your web design platform, and then your model for market construction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So I'm not making one to go ahead and unmute yourself. Please ask all the questions you should ask should align with what will help you as regard this competition, so you'll be well informed and then be able to achieve that which you want to achieve. I'm not making one to go ahead. I'm not making one to, can you hear us? Your network is really bad. We can't hear you. I strongly believe it's not strong here.
While he tries to get his network straight, can we take another question from another person? Anyway, Zikor, I hope you are okay with my answer, or do you have any question? Hello?
Okay, let's take Chukwuebuka. Chukwuebuka, please unmute yourself.
Okay, yeah, I've done that. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can go ahead, please.
Loud and clear. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, now I'm asking, let's say you have your idea, then you, let's say, don't have enough funds here to actually push it. Do you advise us to get a loan from the bank as students? Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Every single that's why it's a training series. I'm sorry to interject here now. It's a series. So as regard the fundraising aspects of your startup or of putting up your solution into reality, right? We have someone that is going to take you on that so that you'll be able to know how to function even if you have zero capital. I started a business which I had zero capital in. I know there are other individuals who are also professional in that who have been assigned to take care of it. And we have someone who do a masterpiece job on that.
Okay,
so
thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. What this particular lecture session is specifically about, even though Mr. Shaibu is also well knowledgeable in finance. However, what this particular session is all about is to guide the solution that you've written out to do so that it will be answering the solution that 2020 HULT Prize competition is all about, to help you tailor that solution you've written out to do so it will align with what will make sense at the global. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Specifically what it's all about. So we don't, if we digress too much, then we'll have a very lengthy session and we don't want that. But we will definitely have a session on finance. So
thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, Chief. Basi Asuko. Basi Asuko.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
Please permit me to keep my video off the screen. Where I am is not very okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Okay. All right, sir. My question is still about a lot you said earlier today. So I want to ask about while trying to create a solution, there are some solutions that you might need collaborating partners. Let's say, for example, your solution revolves around needs a delivery system, all right? And you know that your solution is going to become very complex if you start thinking about delivery system adding to what you're already working on. Yesterday, I was actually trying to reach out to a delivery courier service, and I didn't know exactly what to say. In a situation where you need other partners to help execute your project, like you really need to understand how other potential partners run their business to help you work on a better solution. How do you go about reaching out to those kind of partners, like in the case of a need for a courier service or something?
Okay, again, sorry to interrupt, sir. Okay, now, as regard, we have Uju Uzo Jinaka. She is the CEO of TOFA. She's going to be handling on networks and how to create the right network. No matter what challenge you'll be faced with, she will help you out. Absolutely. The woman is really wonderful. She has done a whole lot as regard that. I guess if you check on TOFA and check on her profile, you know what I'm talking about.
Meanwhile, can I offer? Let me answer his question briefly.
Okay. Go ahead.
If you have packaged the business and the business, one of the core part of your business is delivery. You need to factor it into your business plan. You need to factor it into your business plan. Yes, if it's core, if it's central to your business, you need to factor it in.
Okay.
And yes, and see how you can do it yourself, or as in let your company handle that. Okay. Otherwise, you have to make a proper arrangement. You don't just go and meet a courier service and they will not understand what you're saying. You need to strike a partnership with them and they understand what you want to do. Either you handle it yourself or you go with the courier company, discuss with them. You people go into partnership. So when you are sending goods to them, they know you are coming. They don't just, you don't just go there and then they'll begin to say, what are you saying? How do we get this? They'll begin to complicate the issue for you. No. everything will be spelled out in a well-written memorandum of understanding and an agreement people will drop. Then you can seamlessly move your goods to them, and it will be delivered to your customer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So I'd like to, because we have just 8 minutes to go from the official time, let's give an opportunity for anyone that still wants to ask questions should go ahead. In the meantime, if I send hands raised up, we'll tell the person to speak. In the meantime, everyone representing each team member should just briefly, using 30 seconds, strictly 30 seconds, to mention the name of your group and exactly the solution that you're working on. So let's start quick. Anyone on mute yourself, start speaking. Maybe we'll start with Chukwuebuka. Chukwuebuka, speak.
Okay.
For a group.
Okay, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Okay, go ahead, Zico.
My name is Kingsley Zikora, and the name of my team is Average Delight. And we're majoring in e-commerce. That's our core.
E-commerce. So, what problem is it solving?
Solving the act of delivering good processed food, like raw food, to the masses. So you don't need to like.
Please don't deliver processed food, though.
No, like raw, like healthy food.
Okay.
Like while processing in the sense that while making it clean, like very healthy for consumption. All right. Now I'm not dealing with junks. No junks this time.
Okay. So what's the name of the group again?
Hello.
What's the name of your group?
Again?
What's the name of your group?
My group, Average Delight.
Average Delight.
Average, yes, AVRIO.
Okay, so
now I'll advise your e-commerce. Please, can I go ahead?
Go ahead, sir.
Please, let me just chip something briefly based on the idea they say they are working on e-commerce, delivering good food. Now, you can as well include physical markets. In the meantime,
yeah, I have that side.
Okay, because there are some people. If you look at the SDGs, most of what they want you to achieve in HULT PRIZE is to achieve the SDG goals. Most of the SDG goals. So, and for you to be able to do that, you must reach out to the rural areas. And most of the rural areas, they have difficulty accessing the internet. In the meantime, so they can have a localized market where they can bring their produce, sell. You can sell their produce there. Then
it's part of it, but I just want to talk about the main.
Okay.
Beautiful. Factor in media. Media is key into that idea. All right, thank you.
Okay, Merichuku has a question. Merichuku, go ahead.
That's not it's not more of a question, but to talk about my own theme and what we do, our own mission.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Now, the name of my team is Trying Technology. So we
what?
came up with it's Trying Technology.
Trying Technology, okay.
Yeah, so we came up with a solution that takes the farm hold materials, then turns it into something else. I can't really limiting details. You forgive me. That improves the farm yield, crop yield of the farmer, whatever farmer that uses it. Then at the same time, creates another an alternative energy source that can help power food processing stations. So food processing stations can, let me say, turn their waste into a power source, while this is it cuts down cost of processing food, and it cuts down cost of buying fertilizers for the farmer, and it also serves an alternative alternative energy source, if I may say. So that's one of our.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. What I would like to advise is that make sure your business, your plan doesn't compromise quality. on the
No,
product.
doesn't.
Don't compromise. That is key.
That is business core.
Yes. If it compromises quality from your production process, you know, when you in your business proposal you give details of how you go about your processing, your conversion of the farm produce. If it's evaluated and they found out that it's compromising the quality, you are out. So make sure you are not compromising the quality in any way. Thank you very much.
So we're already running tests and prototyping already. So
all right.
Yeah, we are aiming for the best.
Beautiful.
All right, nice. Okay, so let's go to Basi Asuko.
Okay. The name of my team is Udia Nigeria. Udia in Efik means food. Okay, what we are basically doing is we're starting a food tourism enterprise that provides local directory for Nigerian cuisines and restaurants, where you can find Nigerian cuisines and restaurants nearby, wherever you are. I tried searching for that once, and it took me to the big hotels, and those places does not give you the experience of the Nigerian cuisine. So it makes it difficult for a tourist to want to stay beyond the night of their scheduled conference or whatever brought them here. So I want to see how we can make Nigerian cuisines and restaurants visible so that tourists can stay longer, experience Nigeria more, and create more income for both the transport sector, the SMEs, and the food sector.
Okay, so okay,
wonderful.
Okay,
wonderful. Let me add something to that. Please, I'll advise you expand the business idea beyond tourists. You can also have a space for those within the country, those working in your locality or wherever they are, wherever people are working, wherever there's activity, economic activity, or wherever food is being, where you can get that local cuisine. You can also factor it in. You can also factor it in, not necessarily only, not necessarily tourists. We that are in the country can also access that local place where we can get good cuisines and wonderful foods. Thank you.
Okay, so Basi, I think I'd like to tell you this also briefly. One, in addition to what our guest speaker said, you align your business solution. Understand this. Align. You are doing this for two reasons. You want to resume your entrepreneurial journey, and again, you want to solve the HULT PRIZE global competition. The question is, how much best do you think what you're offering will actually solve a problem that is very, very important as compared to what your next person, as per the next team member, don't say a competitor, okay? The next team member whom you are entering the competition with is also solving. So if you're talking about helping people to, specifically the, what's it called now? The tourists to locate good food outfits. What does it solve specifically? Does it solve which problem?
Okay, the problem here we are trying to solve is income generation. We are trying to set up an alternative income generation for a better income generation for the owners of local restaurants. In Nigeria, unlike other countries, like in UK, for example, they have a data that shows that 3.1 million is spent yearly on food in the country, and out of that 1.2 million is used in local restaurants. And okay, they're able to have this kind of data because they have a directory. Okay, they literally have a directory.
Hold on, let me look. Now I'm going to now. If you go abroad, one thing you'll be sure, just be confident of this. Abroad they have security. We have local canteens or eateries where, of course, local. But then, well, a foreigner wants to take such a risk. Not every foreigner is that what's the word now? Is that free to make those movements down to they rather prefer to go to where it's safe. So one, you have to factor in safety. That's my point. Two,
Yes, we are looking at that.
Yeah, you have to factor in, you have to be sure that those places are safe. Then two, you have to factor in the category of canteens that you're actually pushing out. There are several mama puts that are not healthy. They don't have good habits in terms of cleanliness. So you have to find a way.
Criteria,
yeah,
yes.
find a way, and always announce that. Find a way. That is your selling point, because you have to find a way to mention how best you are trying to remove unhealthiness, and then while adding money down to the canteens, you're removing unhealthiness to what they are doing. So I think that's just to make sure that you're actually answering the solution that you are going for, not creating a problem that is beautiful that you're solving, but it has to align with the 2021 HULT PRIZE solution. So someone else is here. Stephen Okogu. Stephen.
There's a guy goes like Jude. He raised up his hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Don't worry. Go ahead, Chukwuemeka. Go ahead.
No. I was like, no. I saw someone raise up his hand. God's the light, Jude.
Who?
Yeah. God's the light, Jude. He raised up his hand twice.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll have Stephen and then we'll have God's the light. So one of them to speak up, please, real quick.
Hello. Good day.
Hi there.
Good day. My question is, hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Though not so much noise in your background, but go ahead.
Okay, I know. My name is Stephen Okogo. The name of my team is the Eli team. We haven't actually collected our ideas, but the idea we are working on is basically food logistics. That's transferring goods, but the particular problem I want to solve is to reduce food spoilage and then trying to evacuate fresh food products immediately they are harvested from the farmers. Understand? From the statistics we have, farmers do lose like excessive amounts of produce due to improper storage and something like that. So we want to build a system or a kind of market whereby we can help farmers provide good storage techniques.
So how do you want to do it? It's good. It's a good idea. How do you want to do it?
Okay, we want to. Okay, the question I want to ask is, how do we solve the problem of bad roads in Nigeria, because it involves traveling on the road, and then we cannot easily solve that problem.
Yeah, hello, can I say something?
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Now, the bad roads in Nigeria, that is why I offer localized market. You can create a market that's in, let's say, in an area. You can create like 4 or 5 markets in an area. You don't need to enter a vehicle to go to your nearest market. You don't need to. You can create a market in such a way that it will be close to the people there. It will be close to the people there. So that's it. Then you focus on, if you are doing the logistics, you focus only on the SS. You focus only on the SS. You focus on the SS, and you will not be transporting it far. You will not be transporting it far. You'll be taking it just to the closest point, close to you, not taking it far. After all, we are also trying to reduce the burning of carbon and some other things, so save our environment. So thank you.
Hello, Stephen. Are you satisfied in any way, or do you have any gray area? Let's do it quickly. We have other people to go to.
Yes, I'm satisfied with that. Thank you.
Okay, so from what he said, you can as well also create, like he mentioned, also create an online store. So if you have an online store, it's always available there, and you're able to reach out to people that will buy. So, and you have the quantities which you are doing. Anyway, that's something Tofa is doing. I guess when she takes you on networking, you're able to know how to do that, solve that problem, because you were actually asking us, how do we solve the problem of roads? Well, your solution is supposed to beat the challenges we have currently in the country, and then be able to help people to climb above that. Otherwise, you've not really solved you've not solved anything yet. Yeah, you're still trying to see if you want to, depending on if there's anybody that will suggest it to you. So but actually what you're supposed to do is to tell us that you have a solution, irrespective of the odds we are currently facing, and that you can actually do this better than any other person else that is doing it so far. That is how to sell your idea, period. So you also have to look at creating an enabling marketplace so that people will say, oh, I need this quantity of social, and you have to network properly for them to know, hey, you're existing, like you have the Ogun marketplace and so on. You can go a little better, see what they're doing, what they're not doing good enough, and you begin to see how you do yours better. So that if you tell people we have delivery, we have no certain number of delivery days, we deliver, once you make your order and pay, 3 days from payment we deliver, and so on and so forth. So you begin to have demand for the product, even without having a physical warehouse. So when you have 3 days to deliver, 3 days would be able to deliver a good from north to southeast, and that's the furthest distance. Next person, are you cool? Are you cool? Is Stephen okay now? So we'll go to the next person. Okay, fine. Oh, so Chukwuebuka, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just didn't get something he said. He said focus on excess. What does it mean?
Excess means we have tomato.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, if you have, let's say you have a number of farmers around your area, and then you are able to use, say, 50 baskets out of 70 baskets produced. The excess can be taken to the nearest market or the nearest point, not actually traveling too far. You don't need to go too far.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We'll have so much, like in the north, you have tomatoes that are being wasted because farmers don't really have so much patronage. So that's the excess. So you could actually take advantage, and then that excess, being that they know that they produce more than what is being demanded for within their own locality, you can take advantage of that, have a better price, and do what you should do as according to the directive which you gave. So someone was speaking.
Okay, good afternoon.
Hello there, go ahead.
Good afternoon. This is Agri Deborah. I'm representing Team Solavetive.
Okay.
Then, okay, our team is trying to bring about solve the problem of storage using solar, because we noticed also that problem of also Nigerian foods are the storage facilities. So we are trying to create an avenue to store food for a longer period of time. If it's even possible to even store things like tomatoes, trying to kill the bacteria, because notice there is exposure to air, and this exposure to air brings sometimes bacteria that spoils these tomatoes. But we know that there are some that are anaerobic, which no matter how hard you try, is going to be a bit impossible. But we are trying to at least make it last a bit longer than normal, so that during the course of transporting it from one state to another, it can still be made fresh by the time it gets to its final location. And also trying to create job opportunity using solar panels. When we use solar panels, we can use it to power our storage facilities and the preservatives, the preservation equipment, what we use to preserve them. Yes.
So what Deborah is saying is that that their team is into preservation, better preservative means for the farmers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, using solar powered systems.
Yes. So I'm also trying to work on machines that can also preserve tomatoes for at least, even if it's not for a long period of time, because we know that tomato is a perishable good, but at least for just a few days or so, to be able to meet the place where you are taking it to.
Okay, so whenever you're trying to pitch your idea, present it before before the public, you rather than saying even if it's not for social number, say present it this way, so that it can last up to 10 days. So it tends to portray the idea that you've actually done it better. It will now pass on the information that normally it would have been lesser number of days. It doesn't last up to 2 days, but now because you are into the system, it now lasts up to 10 days. So rather than saying even if it doesn't be up to 30 days, that means you are trying to say you are not doing something good enough. Cool?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, it seems like our guest speaker wants to say something.
Particularly preserving those perishables, don't compromise quality. Don't compromise quality. Don't compromise quality. It's so key. So it has to be test run. You have to check it out properly, because most of the preservatives or techniques of preservatives actually compromise quality. Sometimes it damages the product, if not total, at least 50% of good ingredients in those produce are damaged. So don't compromise quality in preservation. So key.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think that becomes your what we call your what's it called? That is your unique selling point, which is that your USP would now be preservation in such a way that is more natural, in such a way that doesn't compromise quality. So if actually what you're solving it aligns with this, that will help. So you are giving longer preservation in such a way that doesn't compromise quality, and then you have clearly written out your how. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so Michael Okere, right? Go ahead, Michael. Is Michael there? Okay.
So.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Are you hearing me? Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Afternoon.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. The name of our group, first of all, is GMD Solutions. That's it.
GMG.
And what we're actually working on is